Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Elias and welcome back to Age of Engineering. In the last episode, we were working on the Angel Ring, which is the first item of the creative type items that triggers the last age that we need to make. And as you can see, we got about half of it done, but we have the harder half to do still. So, what all did we do last time? Well, we went to the Nether. We got a ghast and alert lasso. We also stabbed it a bunch with a syringe to get some blood, some essence, whatever. So we can make this flight module. We got a bat. There were some other things we were working on. Right, we made the jetpack, the vibrant jetpack. That was a little bit of work. And yeah, basically we did a lot of stuff just trying to get the creative flight because, well, that would be really nice. So between episodes, I actually did a lot of work. One of the things that we need to do is get a new, get the Void Resource Miner set up. So I have the hole to bedrock done and all that kind of fun stuff. We'll get more stuff. Did I put glass there? I actually wonder if I put glass on this spot. I think I did. Let's just see. I did. Okay, so we'll need to get another piece of glass. But I did that. I've basically prepped the applied logistics system a little bit so that we can make all the things we need for that. We're only going to make a tier 2 for now. We'll make a tier 4 later of both of them. But for now, just a tier 2 will be enough. And I need to continue working on this area. It's not been the fastest thing. Let's grab that glass before I forget. But yeah, so we need to do a lot of things. And one of the big things that we actually need to do that I've been putting off for a long time is bees. So I did some work with that, which we'll get to in just a second. So let's just put the glass there. And I want to run by the mechanism place. I need to get this mechanism set up. That'll probably be something we'll do after we get done with a lot of the with the angel ring. But I'm currently making a good bit of silicon, and I just want to make sure nothing else is. Why? Oh, right, infusing carbon. I was making steel. Yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. Let's get, let's see, half a stack. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll need 4 more. Okay, so we'll deal with that. But yeah, so we need to get the mechanism area set up a little bit. That is something that will come. I kind of forgot about that, to be honest. So yeah, and you know, getting everything kind of set up, building all the buildings and whatnot. But one of the big things I did was I worked on forestry. And so we have a centrifuge for combs. We have some drawers for major supplies we're going to get. And a nice big area for our bees. Now, this is where we're kind of at. Eventually. And let's go through all of this. We're going to need to get the creative... the various creative items, and the first thing that we're gonna get is the creative fluid tank, which requires some stuff we'll get later. These are the power stuff, which are pretty expensive. I'm not gonna lie, the quantum solar panel is scary. It takes a lot of iridium, and that's not gonna be fun. The Cenarium outline, yeah, it takes a lot of iridium, but this is infinite power. It is infinite power, and we can make it into any of the 3 different types. Whether we want the creative capacitor banks or quantum generators, which are IC2 power, we can make RF, joules, and EU infinitely with this thing. So it's really good, and we're going to be making a lot of them. Because the second thing that we're going to make is the creative fluid tank, or it might be the second thing, I don't know, we'll see. But the creative fluid tank requires a full tank of biodiesel, which we can make, that's not that hard, empowered oil, vapor of levity, short mead, and IC2 hot coolant. Short mead is the trickiest one of those. Short mead is from forestry, and it comes from bees. We need honey and honeydew, and compost, fertilizer, something like that. And that'll make us short mead. And you can use short mead for a bunch of different things. Oh, you need it for mutating frames. I didn't realize that. That's more bees. That didn't used to be the way it was, but whatever. So yeah, we'll need short mead. And we're also going to need, for the creative vending upgrade, this has a basic bin with 4,000 scented paneling. And it needs some other things. Iridium ore, manulin, HDPE pellets. Most of these are easy except for the iridium, but once we get to that point, the iridium will be pretty easy. And then this gives you infinite everything. So kind of cool. But the problem is the scented paneling. And so we're going to need bees, and I set up a little bit of a system. So right here, we have a bunch of signs. So first of all, we have unknown bees. These are bees that are not scanned. Or analyzed, I guess. These are the analyzed bees. I don't have many because I haven't analyzed many. We have some honey, and let's go, or some combs rather. So let's go ahead and put these in here so this guy can start working. We can upgrade him later if we want to. We might actually make it go a little bit faster. But yeah, this is what we're going to need. So for the scented paneling, we're going to need industrious and imperial bees. So the scented paneling requires honey. That's a pretty typical thing. Royal jelly, pollen clusters, wood, and beeswax. Now beeswax is really easy. We get it from any comb pretty much. Honey we get from most combs as well. But royal jelly only comes from imperial bees. And pollen clusters only come from industrious bees. So we need both of those. Now luckily the honeydew that we need for the short mead comes from, I think it's the imperial line. Make those. So let's check that real quick. And actually, before we do too much talking about bees, because bees are going to be something I'm going to do mostly off camera. It is a long, tedious grind, but once we get some good bees, we can have everything else working. So if we want to make the void resource miners tier 2, we're going to need 32 structured block tier 2s. So let's get those cooking up. And we'll get everything else later. So yeah, back to bees. So the honeydew we need for this in the fermenter comes from either dripping or mellow combs. Mellow combs are monostatic, the monostatic line. If you see bees that are enchanted, that is the top tier of the bee. That means that bee line cannot... it's the end of the line. It's the end of the, like, how do I want to say it? The mutated line. So that's good. But the monostatic bees, these are bees that usually thrive in, like, hotter climates, I do believe. And it's not something that we necessarily need. Now, some of the end of the lines will make other bees, but the hermetic princesses come from secluded and monostatic. Secluded are monostatic and something else. So that is the bee line, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. Bees are complicated. I love bees. Bees are one of my favorite things in all of modded, but bees are really, really bad unless you have some really cool mods to go with it. I used to play in, like, old versions, 1.4 Minecraft. Because forestry is a very old mod. We had bees and extra bees. That was it. And if you wanted bees, you needed to breed them and do everything the way forestry does, which is really tedious and completely random chance. If you know anything about genetics, that's how bees work. So there's recessive and dominant traits, and two bees with the same dominant traits, and two bees with the same traits will give you the same bees with the same traits. But if you combine different things, so for example, a diligent bee and a common bee, or no, rather a common bee and a cultivated bee, there is a chance that it will mutate and give you a diligent bee. So that's what we have to basically do. But yeah, so the honeydew, I know this is a lot of information. It's hard to express it verbally. But I'm going to try. We're going to get dripping combs. And dripping combs come from noble princesses, majestics, and imperials. So by getting this into paneling, we should get the short bead. That's kind of all that needs to be said of that. So how do we get these bees? Well, like I said, we have to combine bees. So we have all these bees that are meadows and forest and marshy. These are what are known as hive bees. Basically any bee breed that comes from an actual hive, which I don't see any nearby. There's one way out there. Let's go ahead and go harvest it. I don't believe Valiant count as a hive bee. No, Valiant do not count as a hive bee. They're a little bit different. So basically, but you guys have seen this before. We did this to get the pulsating meshes, which is something else we might want to look into getting more of. But we just kind of smoke the bees so they don't get angry and break the hive. So these are hive bees. We get meadows and a princess and a drone. And there's some complexities to this, but basically there's like 8 or 10 different hive bees. The most common that we're going to find are meadows and forest. If we go to desert, we'll get a lot of modest, which we have a few of those. And you kind of get the gist. So, do Ender count for those? I actually don't know if Ender count for that. No, Ender do not count as a hive bee. They're different. So, yeah, there's not many different types of hive bees, but any of them combined. So meadows with a forest, a modest, a tropical, wintry, marshy, or I think that's it. Will give us a common bee. So that's what we have to get. That's one of the first things we have to get. We actually do have, I thought we had we have some common drones, but we don't have a common princess. But once we get a common, then it gets complicated. The next thing we'll need is a cultivated, which is a common plus another hive. That is not too bad to do. But then we have a 50-50 chance, basically, for a cultivated and a common will give us either a noble or a diligent. And in the noble line, we just kind of continue on to get the imperial. So noble with a cultivated will give us majestic, and noble with majestic will give us imperial. We don't really care about noble and majestic as much. So we don't care about majestic, rather, that much. We just want the imperial. So if we go through majestic bees, that's fine. And then on the other side, the common and cultivated can also give us a diligent, which will give us an unwary, and then industrious. So that's what we're going to have to do. And so the other thing that's kind of important to know about bees is the difference between, let's get some more honey in here so we can analyze some bees. The difference between ignoble and pristine. So what does ignoble and pristine stock mean? We have a pristine meadows, and then ignoble meadows right here. The difference between these is the ignoble stock are genetically faulted, basically, I think is the lore. Basically, these meadows bees, these princesses, will eventually die. Whenever you breed bees, they will give you between 1 and 4, I think is the max, drones, and 1 princess. There is a very, very, very small chance, and it increases as you breed these guys longer and longer. Some of them might actually say, I think some of the ones that we've analyzed, yeah, 1 generation in captivity, 2 generations in captivity. They will eventually die off if they're ignoble. If they're pristine, they never will. So pristine are the ones you want to get the the trait, the species trait. And there is, I believe, 13 different traits that they can have. So if we look at one of these guys, let's actually pop him into the analyzer. The lifespan, you can see they're active and inactive. That's dominant and recessive traits, and it works just like the Mendel squares if you're, seeing high school biology. But yeah, we have lifespan, production, pollination, flower type, fertility. That's where we get the drones, territory, and effect. Some of the most important things is species, fertility, effect, and production. So yeah, we get different bees based on what we use, combined traits, all that kind of stuff. If you put two meadows together, if you put a meadows with a meadows, you'll only get meadows. And you get the other trait from the drone. So what we're going to do is we have two pristine meadows. This is a meadows forest, this is a meadows common. Let's take a look at some of these common guys. So that is a pure common. That is good. And this is a common meadows. That's a common meadows. Alright, so we're going to take the meadows and the common drone, and they're going to go in here. With the hope that meadows common, crossbreeding with a common will give us either a common or a cultivated. We need both. And we're gonna ignore using the ignoble stock unless we have to. The main reason is they could die, and they're going to be better if once we get a bee, once we get a purebred, like a common or something, we can basically force it to eventually become any bee to become a common just by just continuously feeding it drones. Since they won't die out, we can have them going forever. That's kind of what we need to do. So yeah, I know I'm talking a lot on this episode. Apologies, but bees are complicated. But bees are, I like I said, I have a lot of fun with bees. I enjoy getting all the different products and the random chance and all that kind of stuff. So this is a purebred forest drone. We're gonna put these guys down here, and we're gonna combine these two. So I'm actually gonna get some signs out, and we're gonna let's see. Crossbreeding, and then these two will be production. So one of the best bees to get for, we're going to need a lot of honey, and that is a little bit of an issue because honey is annoying to get. And one of the best bees for that is actually cultivated, I do believe. So if we look at this, 20% chance. Noble are also pretty good. They have a 20% chance for the dripping combs. Dripping combs are good because you can get both honey and honey drops. It's a 100% chance for honeydew, but you can also get honey drops from that. But I believe cultivated, yeah, it's a 40% chance of giving a comb. So how bees actually work is like every so many ticks, basically it's a bee tick. I don't remember how many. I think it's like 30-ish. Let's get the next set of stuff going on this. 16 machine bases. Basically, what are you struggling? Oh no, it's despawned probably. No, I hate this. I hate that bug. It's got to be a bug. So we lost some redstone. Whoops. But this guy ran out of power, which means that my system didn't activate, which means we lost like 4 blocks of redstone. Whatever. Not that big of a deal. Alright, let's cancel that. 31. And get that going. Okay. So that should work now. And we'll kind of stay over here. But yeah, bees work every like so many ticks. And still making the energetic alloys. Let's make sure that is actually working. Is that still over here? Or do I actually have that set up at the Ender IO area? And is it just going slow or something? I just need to make sure everything's working properly. But yeah, so bees work every once in a while. Okay, this is working. It's just slow. That's fine. And basically, we have a chance of getting a drop every 40% chance of getting a drop every time they work. So there is a honey drop, and we're going to need a lot of honeycombs for that purpose. So for now, let's get pristine forest and pristine meadows and see if these three are all what we want them to be. Meadows, meadows, forest, forest, meadows, meadows. All right, so we're gonna get more bees, and these should all be pristine, all that kind of stuff. And this is just to get. So yeah, this guy's been 10 generations in captivity. I believe we can automate these as well, which is something we'll probably end up doing. Let's just test that with some item conduits. We can just do this. We can do input output, always active, self feed enabled. So I believe this is all you have to do. The self feed makes it so that this can input into itself. So since these are purebred and this is like our production line, these guys will always work. I just need to get another sign to put production on that. So the princess and a drone will be pulled out and put back in. And since these apiaries are smart enough to know what they have and all that kind of stuff, it shouldn't be a problem. Now, one thing to note is with bees, there is these 3 slots here. These are for frames, and there are a lot of different frames, from untreated frames to impregnated frames, which require impregnated sticks. There's descriptions. And then there is proven frames, which you can only get from villagers. Sweet frames, which I'm not entirely sure. This gives us more production, but it requires some honey. Super cooled. That is even better on production. They also restrict mutation. Mutating frames obviously give more chance mutation. These are from more bees. I'm not too familiar with that. What we might do is just make a bunch of untreated frames with the sole purpose of basically the frames give a little bit better of a chance of production, as well as reducing the chance for ignobles from deteriorating. And that doesn't matter as much, but we can make some 1, 2, they don't stack. 3, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And we'll just give them all some frames because why not? But basically, I'm going to be breeding bees for a while. So that's why I had this nice little area set up. But yeah, the frames go in there, and they will help mostly with production. And that just means more honeycombs. Because like I said, we're going to need a lot of honey. So I think that's about it for bees today. So let's go ahead and get to work on getting the other thing that we need, which is for the angel ring. And apologies that today's episode was mostly bees. I know not everybody likes bees. It is very tedious. It is very boring sometimes. There's a mod pack that is nothing but bees. It's a skyblock where everything is based around bees. I really like playing it. I might play it again. It would not be a series on YouTube, but it might be a stream. That could be kind of fun. But yeah, I love bees, and bees are very powerful because if we look real quick, there are a ton of different princesses, and some of them are pretty useful. Wither princesses gives you nether star fragments, which you can make into nether stars. Yeah. Now they're not easy to get. Withering bees give you wither skulls. Wither combs give you coal and bones, and draconic princesses give you draconium. There's all sorts of different bees that have literally all the different products. Slimy combs give you slime balls. So yeah, there is a lot of art. All the metal princesses, quartz, redstone. You can get uh, cocoa beans. There's so much stuff you can get from bees. It's slow. It's tedious, but you can kind of just let them do their own thing. Okay. Something backed up. Why am I going that way? Oh man. We might have to set the thing to blocking mode. This guy over here. No, he's just still working. He's just really slow. So maybe we need to find some different capacitors. We could use an octadic capacitor. That could be something that could help. Let's check real quick on these guys. Purified obsidian. We have 2 of that. Cool. That's going to go right here. That is a very rare drop. Not recipe, uses. Oh no, recipe. That's what I wanted. Yeah, it's a 0.02%. So that's really cool. So yeah, this has constantly been running and will eventually give us everything we want. Anyways, like I said, let's get on with this. So we need, was it 16 machine bases? Let's get that while we're waiting for everything else. And I have all this auto craftable, and most of the stuff should be pretty straightforward to make. So we have a lens. We're going to use a white lens for this guy so we can get more mica. And we need 3 laser cores and 4 modifier cores. So, oh my gosh. I'm typing the wrong buttons. Cores. So we need 3 laser cores, so we're going to need 2 more of those and 4 modifier cores, which requires some electrical steel. That's not too bad, but we don't have any crafting. Clear glass is being made. And there's the laser cores. Cool. And then 4 modifier cores. Should be nice and easy. Now, we want to get a void resource tier 2. So to get that, we're going to need 2 more void resource miners. And I actually told the system how... No, I didn't. I thought I did. Was I going to? Oh, I have it. I guess I didn't... Hold on. I swore I did that. Did I put the pattern? No? Okay, now I'm confused. Oh, I had another sign. Whoops. Is it perhaps in here? No. We're gonna need the lever though. Okay, that's odd. I swore I had the last thing we needed for the pattern set, but I guess not. Let's set this up. So production. Have these guys completed yet? Not quite. Getting close. These guys probably have. And as you can see, we have some other things. And we have a cultivated drone, so that's nice. So I'm going to work on that stuff, like I said, off camera. It's going to be a lot easier because of just how tedious it can be. Okay, this is weird. Let's check one more place. Just make sure I didn't put... I swear I made patterns for the void resource miners. Because it makes sense to do that. We will eventually need it. So let's just do that. I have so much silicon. I went ahead and decided to mass produce some silicon. And nothing in there. Okay. If I made the patterns, I don't know where they're at. But, I swear I did. Okay. Anyways, enough looking. let's go ahead and getting closer on that. This is waiting for the electrical steel. So the void resource miner, go ahead and make that one, and then the other one just requires that. So we'll put all this stuff in here, and if I put this guy in here, we should be able to make the void resource miner. And you know what, let's go ahead and cancel that for now and just make our tier 2 void resource miner. It's going to take a lot of stuff, but it will be done soon enough. Do we have any more capacitors? Are either of these faster? We have a bunch of capacitors, actually. So let's take all of these guys. Let's see, what do we have? We need unstable hiding, impossible capacitor. Premium tight, enhanced hiding, wonder capacitor. We want something that is, these are capacitor duds. Nice hungry capacitor. I think hungry is for smelting. I don't know. Enhanced planting, that is for capacitor dud. Premium planting. Planting is for the farming station. I believe insatiable is for maybe crusher or the sag mill. No, crusher, nice planting. Is insatiable maybe, I don't know. Enhanced capacitor. It's big. We'll see if that one's good. Enhanced hungry. I think that one might be better than that one. Simple crafting, simple smelting. Yeah, I don't know the terminology, which one's going to be better or not. But we can at least try to go see if any of these guys are going to make this go faster, because that would be really nice. So it's not too bad. We have what? 135, 60. So that is slower. So yeah, this is better. Alright, well, whatever. I guess that is a decently fast speed. What we might need to do is just make more. That might be the better plan. But let's go ahead and get this stuff kind of taken care of. Do we have the void resource, so let's make the modifier cores. We're gonna need 4 of those. Let's go ahead and tell it to make those. And why are modest drones in here? Drones, we have some more drones in here. Let's take all the drones out. And then princesses? No, okay. We don't have any princesses. That's good. But we should be able to grab our void resource controller, and we're going to need the assembler. Alright, let's go put these bees away. Are they all unknown? They are. And yeah, a lot of work, I know, but not much to show for today. Once we get the void resource miner, what we're going to do is start working on getting Mica. And Mica is like the last thing we need. So yeah, this is automatically working. As you can see, the drones are going to be put back. Since they're all the same, it will not change anything. It's going to be great. Now the only other thing is we're going to need some conduits. I don't have that many. This is almost done. And once that's done, we'll get pretty close. Now, for this resource miner, for the time being at least, we're not going to hook it up to... oh man, I need to get up there. We're not going to hook it up to anything we don't need that one. We're not going to hook it up to our applied logistics system because it's going to give us a lot of stuff we don't want. So we're just going to use our medium storage crate. And so this just goes along. It'd be nice if I could get up there. Let's see. Do we have some ladders? No, of course not. Let's just block up, and then we can... Do I have some... I have some cobblestone. Alright, let's just block up. And then we can walk along the line, and it'll be fine. So hopefully we have... Nope, never mind. That did not work. But we can jump 2 blocks, so we can just do this and have a nice little parkour challenge. Alright, so we just need to bring this over. And yeah, we don't have enough blocks, but this is a level, so it's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this will be at the 6th, and that will be fine for now. Like I said, eventually we will have these both be tier 4. This one is a tier 3. You know what? Let's actually do it the right way. Void resource miner tier 2. It is 5 tall, so that should be okay. It might be 1 block off the ground. If it is, it's not a problem. We'll live. But let's grab some gold, redstone, and I believe we're actually running low on glowstone. But what we're going to do is we're going to make some energetic alloy ourselves. In here, nope, that's the wrong thing. Furnace mode, and then alloy mode. Cool. So that'll make some stuff. Everything is done. Let's grab some conduit. Can make 20 of that? Sure we can. Oh, cool. So we had extra. And then we need the modifier cores. And we should be able to get this guy up and running. So, like I said, we're going to use white lens because we want... Ow. Yeah, it's going to be 1 off the ground. That's fine. White lens because we want the... Is this finished? Yep, okay. We want white lens because we want mica, and that's how we're going to get it. So we just do this. Once it has power, we'll just jump up here to get a lever so we can turn it on and off. And then the crate, so it can start collecting items. So what we want is mica, and once we get a little bit of that, the next thing that we need to make is the flight modifier, and we just need 4 mica. Now let's go ahead and get everything else for that, and then I think we'll call the episode, and next time we will make the flight modifier, as well as we'll make the dark solarium jetpack, jet plate, whatever, which is a little bit nasty. But and then we might even make the Ender Star. That's going to be kind of nasty. Enchanted ingot, we can start working towards that, although that requires tungsten steel, and that's going to be a while. So we have a lot of work to do still. No doubt about that. We need to kind of take breaks every once in a while and work on different things. But let's go ahead and make the flight modifier. So we're going to need a modifier core, first of all. you can make one or more of these. They're pretty cheap. Does require electro steel, but electro steel is a lot easier now that we're into mechanism. We're going to need 3 launchers, which also require mica. So we're going to need 3 pistons that are sticky. And that's easy enough. So we just need, what, 7 mica? And then we'll be able to make the flight modifier core. So that is going to be the plan. We don't have any mica yet, which is unfortunate. But yeah, so what we're going to do is, or what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on bees. I'm going to try to get maybe one of the branches done. We'll see how much I actually do work on bees. And the other thing is I need to really work on mechanism. We need to get that hooked up to applied logistics so that we can make things a little bit faster. And next time, we'll come back once I have all 7 mica that we're going to need. We're going to make the jet plate and maybe start working on the Ender Star or Enchanted Ingot. So that's the plan. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!